Greetings, it's Iain from RTL here. Welcome to a brand new album review. And today we've got Madness. Madness, of course, formed in Camden Town in 1976. Huge band in the late 70s and early 80s. Top 10 single after once. They spent on the UK chart, single charts, a massive 214 weeks, the same number as UB40. So it was the largest of any group in the decade. And this is their 13th album. And it's their first album since 2016. Yeah, we will be doing an album ranking of Madness next year. Because once I knew this was coming out, I thought I'd wait until this come out and then we can do it all. So the album is called The Theatre of the Absurd presents C'est la Vie. Now, in a statement, Madness described the recording process as the perfect antidote to the chaos of the past few years and referred their current form as property in the zone. Yes. Interesting. So, who plays on this album? Well, it's Mike Barson, Lee Thompson, Suggs, Dan Woodgate, Mark Bedford. So let's have a look. So the first track is called the Prologue. It's 11 seconds long and it's called Mr. Beckett Sir. Some nice little bits of piano for Mike on this. It's just a bit of chatting thing. Weird, as I would say it. Then we go into the Theatre of Absurd. Now, the first thing you notice, it has got that very distinctive Madness sound. Obviously, Suggs' voice is a little bit deeper. And I think Nick made the same comment last night. He's more talking than singing now. It's quirky. Then we get If I Go Mad. One thing I have noticed on here, the production on this album is really good. Got some great drumming on this from Dan. And Mark's bass line is pretty good. Some nice guitar work as well. But what sort of lets this one down a little bit is Suggs. His voice just doesn't sound right on this. I don't know it. It sounds a little. It seems he couldn't get the right pitch. He's trying to get the pitch and struggling in places. It's very strange. Baby Burglar. Keyboard's as good as ever. You know, Mike Barson's keyboard sound is great. The thing that really does this is it's a little bit boring in places until Lee Thompson does one of his saxophone solos. Then the next one, number 5 track is Act 1, surrounded on all sides. Just a little intro to Act 1. And then we get C'est la Vie. One of my favourite tracks on here. But the thing about this one is that iconic Lee Thompson saxophone and Mark's great bass line. It's okay. I do find that with this track, it's a little bit, shall we say, it's lacking something. And it's alright. It's just lacking that oomph. And I think it's because they're missing Chaz Smith. there's bits in there that you're expecting him to sing, and I think Suggs he's singing away, and there's nothing to back him up. So it does lack a bit of Chaz, that one. What on earth is it, and in brackets, you take me for? Again, it's just got that madness sound to it. It's a good track. Even Snug sounds alright on this. But again, it's the three people that play well on here. Lee, Mark and Dan. Absolutely terrific. Dan's beat drums are great on that track. Then we have Hour of Need. Just another solid track. Great sax till it's madness. Then we go into Act 2, the Damsel in Distress. Get the little intro. And then we got Round We Go. Another of my favourites on here. It's a very catchy tune. Some lovely keyboard here from Mike. And a really good vocal from Suggs this time. Then we go into Act 3. The situation deteriorates. We get the little introduction. And then we get Lockdown and Frack Off. This is the one that actually sounds a little bit more Scar two-tone. That's what this album does, like that sort of Scar two-tone. It's a very mature madness. It's not a bad track. Then we get Beginners 101. It's a nice gentle song, like, you know, their cover version of It Must Be Love. Nice song. Vocals, as I said, it's more speaking than singing, but it's okay. Then we get Is Anybody Out There? Another good track. This is Dan's drumming is great on this. Lee Thompson though steals the show as ever. The Law According to Dr. Kippah. This is a little bit poppy for me. I really can't get into this track. I don't know why. Then we come to the Epilogue, and it's just a little speech, and it's called "And So, Ladies and Gentlemen." This sort of concludes the album. Then we have "Run for Your Life." Probably for me, this is the weakest track on this album. It's a little bit disjointed. It doesn't go anywhere. It seems like everyone's lost. What do we do next? And you can remember, what do we do next? And again, it lacks a bit of Chaz. I think if Chaz had been there with his quirky bits, I think it would have brought it to life. But Chaz is no longer in the band. Then we get Set Me Free, Let Me Be. Love the percussion in this. Lee's saxophone, great as ever. Suggs' deep voice. Never heard him sing so deep. Then we get In My Street. My favourite track on here. It's probably the best vocal of the album from Suggs. It's Lee's best sax, and it's quite a nice song to end the album. And then we get just Ladies and Gentlemen at the end. Well, this album's sort of grown on me a little bit. I think this is the closest thing that Madness have got to do in a concept album. It does flow well. Tells a bit of a story. Very good playing. Very good production. Okay, I don't think they've lost their touch, but I don't think it's anything we haven't heard before. That's my criticism, and I totally agree what Nick said last night on the live stream. It lacks Chaz. There would have been times in this album that we needed Chaz, and it would have been so nice to have, if you'd have got with them and to do this. But on the whole, you know, it's a reasonably good album. I've enjoyed listening to it. I think it's one of them albums that the more I listen to it, the more I'm going to get into it. It'll be interesting to see where this falls in the album ranking when I do it. Probably we're looking at probably springtime. Gives me plenty of time to listen to this one and have my full attention on it. But at the moment, I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Be interested in what I give it when I do a full ranking. Okay, that's it for this week. Nothing tomorrow, nothing Sunday, not even a tier ranking. So it's just a weekend off of doing channel stuff. But I'll be back on Monday. And we're going to kick off with, seems a very popular last night when I announced I was doing it. We're going to look at the albums of the brilliant Susie and the Banshees. And we've got a great little 80s gem of a classic album. Didn't do much over here, but was huge in America. And it's called Don't Say No by Billy Squier. So that's all. But just before we go, I just want to say thank you very much for everybody that's supported the channel. As you know, we have now reached 250,000 views, which blew me away. So thank you very much. And as I said, thank you for everyone that watches, but thank you very much for all the people that contribute to the channel in their way. A couple of people I'm going to mention. Rob Walker. He's a great supporter, got me involved with America. I've got to say it, Rachel was a great help. And then people behind the scenes, of course, Dave. The channel wouldn't work without Dave. And I'm going to give a special mention to someone that's become a really good friend, and that's Naomi in Israel. We all always send her wishes and I'm keeping in contact, but she has been a great help when it's come for the new relaunch. A lot of that work, I come up with ideas, but it was Naomi that sort of tuned them in. So you will see what help she did when we launch on the new brand on January the 1st. So I thought I'd just mention that. Have a good weekend then, everybody, and I'll see you all Monday. Bye for now.